at CEDIA Expo 2018 in lovely San Diego, California. We're in the Control4 booth with Charlie Kindel. Charlie, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Charlie, first, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today. I wanted to get into not really any product-specific conversations or anything like that. We've already, covered a lot of the new things that Control4's showing at the show this year. What I wanted to chat with you about was a little bit about your history, your pedigree, and why you came into the channel. So for anyone who doesn't know you, you come from Microsoft and Amazon. What brought you into this channel and into Control4?
Yeah, I've been passionate about connected home and smart home for a long time, and I've kind of been lucky to have a career where I was able to work on products for that space for basically 30 years.
Right.
I worked on putting home networking in Windows at Microsoft. When I was running the team that did the home networking team for Windows, there was no firewall in Windows. There wasn't a home networking wizard. We had just added a TCP/IP stack to Windows.
Really?
And my job was to make home networking happen.
Right.
Then I worked on Windows Media Center. And I was part of the founding team that created that entire division at Microsoft that created that 10-foot experience with PCs and DVRs. I did Windows Home Server. I also did mobile. So I've been thinking about consumer electronics and connected home for a long time, and actually working on it.
Right.
So it's part of me. It's just who I am. I'm kind of that guy. At Amazon, I had the opportunity to help build Amazon Alexa and to drive the smart home effort for Alexa. And it turns out that was sort of serendipitous. Like, that wasn't really intentional. It was almost like an accident that we discovered how fantastic voice was for controlling the smart home.
Right.
And it's a little bit of a result of that, a result of other things like lowering the cost of technology and better standards. We reached this point where connected home is now real.
Okay.
A lot of stuff I did early on, a little bit of kind of pushing sand uphill.
Yeah.
A lot of really great products, but the world really wasn't ready for it. What we found over the last 3 years is the world is now ready for it, and it's adopting it. If you just look at the sheer number of human beings that now have smart home in their house,
it's insane.
It's measured in the 20s, 30s, millions of households.
Right.
Where just 3 years it was measured in maybe 1 million worldwide.
Yeah, the penetration's been huge.
And that's super exciting to me. And so and most of my career to date has been focused on enabling the end node devices, enabling end customers to buy a particular device and get it going and have that scenario. But I've always had this dream of the complete smart home, where it's every room in the house and it's cross scenario. It includes intelligent lighting, multi-room audio, multi-room video, super foundational strong networks, communications experiences, all of those together. And I could have stayed at Amazon and continued to build out from the endpoint perspective, or I could do something different where I came at it from the perspective of the whole home and all the infrastructure. So that's part of the what gets me excited about what I'm doing. The other aspect of it is I love experiencing new things, trying something very different where as from a career perspective, where I'm challenged on something where it's completely foreign to me.
Right.
And I've had the blessing of working at two of the most successful large companies in the world. I learned a lot in doing that, but I never worked at a small company.
Okay.
I did startups, but that's 2 or 3 people in a garage, and that's different. But the idea to go work at a mid-cap company, Control4 is a public company. It's firing all cylinders. It's executing very well. It's growing, but it's still a relatively small company.
Right.
And it's just fascinating to me to understand what it's like to work in a company like that and to be successful and to help a company then like that get to that next stage and become a really, really big, powerful company. So that's what motivates me.
Very cool. One of the things that has come out, and we kind of talked about this pre-show, that we don't as often see big names or highly successful people coming out of some of those traditional big tech channels. A lot of our innovators and people within the channel, they kind of come into this channel and they grow up with this channel. What's involved in, obviously you transitioning over, but what's involved in the industry continuing to pull people from, and I don't necessarily want to, term steal them away, but what's involved in making this channel attractive to those traditional big tech people?
Well, I think the key is that like the rest of the smart home industry, the custom install segment has been full of these fits and starts. It's been poised to take off many times over the last couple decades. And the thing that's different is that's no longer the case. It is taking off. And you look around CEDIA and you look around at the products and the solutions that are being delivered and the amount of growth that's happening, it's clear that it's taking off. And I think that's just a natural attractor to talent. And I think that we're seeing that across the board, that people who are familiar with the industry and so on, they're doing very well. They've great opportunities, but there's people coming in as well.
Well, talking about people coming in, recently you posted something on LinkedIn, and I bring it up because again, it's something that we haven't really seen in the past. And I'm not going to quote you verbatim, but essentially it was a shout out to some of your previous employees and colleagues at the other two companies. Hey, if you're in hardware tech, if you're in engineering, give me a call. We're building a team here.
Yeah.
We don't normally see that kind of very proactive, non-headhunter type situation. What prompted you to do that?
I learned a long time ago that when you're trying to build an organization and build teams and grow teams, recruiting, the discipline of professional recruiting is important. It's part of it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, hiring managers, they have to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And the success that I've had in building teams, and I've done it a bunch, where from ground up build highly functioning teams, you got to do it yourself.
Right.
And so, and I've learned some tricks along the way. And one of them is in order to get the word out that you have an opportunity, sometimes you have to do something a little spicy. And in this case, I happen to know that some aspects of Microsoft that has the heavy hardware engineering, that they're scaling back and changing direction. And so I know a bunch of people there, and I know there's some really high quality people. And there's probably some people that are loose in the socket. And so that was purely an attempt to make sure they knew that I had this amazing opportunity within Control4 for a hardware engineering leader who is going to be able to be responsible for a broad line of products ranging from intelligent lighting to distributed video to speakers, all of that. And hey, there might be a real opportunity for someone who would like to have that next step in their career at a smaller company, maybe get out of their comfort zone a little bit. And it was purely a way of targeting those people, and it worked. I got some calls and I got some activity on that.
I will say it was incredibly refreshing to see. Again, we just don't see that as a rule.
Well, I'll also, why not? Hiring managers, that's your job. And you can't rely on LinkedIn recruiters and as the way of it. You have to do it yourself, and sometimes you need to, be a little spicy.
Very good. Let's change topics just briefly for a second. You're coming into Control4. They are fairly well established within the industry. Obviously, you're bringing some of your own vision, some of your own. You're going to put your personal touch on it to a degree. Can you speak at all to where you see this going, where you see Control4 headed?
For me, it's really simple. I don't want to tout Jeff Bezos too much because people talk about him all the time. But when Jeff is asked the question, what do you think is going to be true in the future? What's going to be next?
Right.
He always answers the question with another question, which is, well, I don't think about what's going to happen next. I think about what's going to be true in the future that's also true today.
Okay.
And he uses customers are always going to want lower prices.
Right.
Customers are always going to want faster delivery. Those are his and he's right. And so I look at the connected home, the space that I've been involved in for a long time.
Right.
And I look at the things that have been true since the beginning of time, and they continue to be true today, and that I believe are going to be true in the future. And one of those is there's going to be increasing technological complexity, coupled with a demand for more technology solutions to solve problems in the household.
Yep.
Customers are going to want more. They're going to get more. And with that comes complexity.
Right.
And what that means is that the company that can deliver a curated experience where there's local experts that can help with that complexity is going to have great success. And that's key to Control4's future. It is a company that's founded on having a very strong dealer network that we're completely committed to, growing that, accelerating that, and enabling those dealers to be even more successful, to scale to bigger businesses, and us building the products that provide that foundational experience in the home, whether it's intelligent lighting, multi-room music, security, and so on. And so that's the gist of it.
Very good. Last question before we let you go. We've seen voice obviously just explode on the market.
Yeah.
Alexa, which you helped with that, really dominated very quickly. Google Home's coming in, and some of the other players are really starting to catch up. With companies like Control4, companies that are in that whole home control market, it's not that they've been slow, but they've been taking their time with voice because we still like our physical interfaces. What do you think the balance is between that tactile key press, whether it's on a remote or a touchscreen or whatever, and voice?
It's a balance, as you said, and I don't know what the balance is. I think we'll figure that over time, but it is a balance. So that's the other thing that will be true forever. Customers are going to want choice in how they interact with their homes. There's not going to be one modality that everyone wants. And so the smart companies that are invested in this space will support all of them. Control4 is a phenomenal remote control that is tactile buttons. Customers love it. We have our touch screens. Customers love those. We support voice. And over time, we'll support more and more user interface modalities because customers want it all. They're appropriate for different things.
Do you ever foresee a time where voice becomes the all-in-one?
No, I don't. I don't think anyone really thinks that voice is the only way that because you and I, when we interact, it's not just voice. I'll do this. Or there's tactile. You are smelling me right now.
It's fantastic, by the way.
Right? But that's how humans interact, all those senses. And so I think about it similar to how humans have senses and actuators. So will the house. And voice is one of those. It happens to be very powerful in a lot of circumstances.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. If people want to find out more about Control4, maybe some of your employment opportunities, things such as that, where can they do that?
Yeah, control4.com/jobs.
Beautiful. Thanks again, Charlie. Appreciate your time. For more footage from the show floor or to learn more about AVNation, please visit avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.